Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am joined by my fellow host,
Joker here.
and I'm gonna turn you up because you're quiet. Um, but so welcome back. So Captain Jack is not here today. Uh, Apparently had other things that needed to be done. Uh, cough, cough, going to the beach. Uh, but we will be having a second nerd chat probably tomorrow, um, where it's going to have all three of us again. But we thought that we would still do one simple nerd chat today, and then we'll probably talk more about whatever we talk about today. We might bring it up again tomorrow, as well as we have another topic for tomorrow. So that's going to be fun.
Yep.
So, our current discussion today is Pokemon, and you have just recently decided to start playing Pokemon again.
Yes.
So, how are you enjoying playing Pokemon again?
Well, the going from playing on the DS to uh the Switch, it's got a lot different feel to it. You can move more and it has more detail of where you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's honestly really insane to think about because the last game that you played for Pokemon was on the DS, correct?
Yep.
Which obviously the DS is nowhere near the same level as the Switch or even the 3DS. Let's be honest. Um, the I mean, your last game was Heart Gold and Soul Silver, correct?
No, Heart Gold and then Pearl are the ones that I've played.
Yeah. Which, I mean, granted, like everyone skipped over Gen 5 because everyone knew that that was a terrible generation, but uh but you skipped over X and Y, which I mean, that kind of makes sense because a lot of people didn't like that one either. But in my opinion, it was one of the best generations that they did, especially when it came to the anime, which I'm pretty sure you've seen that season of the anime, correct?
I have watched most of that one.
Yeah. Which, in my opinion, X and Y is probably one of, if not the best anime seasons, except for uh, Diamond and Pearl, because Ash is like a complete badass in that, and the only reason he loses is because the his opponent has a freaking Darkrai. Um, but yeah, that happens. But in this one, it actually like I don't know. It was kind of interesting to say the least. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen that, but take our word for it. Watch the X and Y anime because that one was actually really good. So you also skipped over Alola then, now that I'm thinking about it, which
Yes.
wow, that that was a lot actually.
I didn't really like Sun and Moon as
Well,
much.
the anime was awful. Let's be clear on
Yes.
this. The anime since Sun and Moon has been truly awful. If you're
It's just gone downhill from there.
yeah, the X and Y was pretty good. Um I think it was kind of interesting because Gen 5 was truly awful, and a lot of people jumped off at that point. But then X and Y came back, and it was actually a pretty good series. But then since then, Alola as well as Journeys has just been such a disappointment, which is really sad because Sword and Shield is actually really good of a game, and you've played a decent amount. Not you haven't gotten very far in the game yet, right?
I just finished the second gym.
Okay. So obviously you haven't seen like everything that happens with it, and it's honestly pretty good. And I'm kind of disappointed that for my first playthrough, instead of choosing to be smart and play in English, I played in Japanese because I wanted to test things out. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta play in English
Yeah.
to understand it.
Well, yeah, especially, which is kind of interesting because like in pretty much all of the other Pokemon games, you really didn't need to fully understand what people were saying in order to actually play the game. Like pretty much everything was pretty straightforward. You knew what you were doing. All of this stuff, big bad, no big deal. But there's actually like a lot of story that a lot of people are bringing up, and I'm like, wait, that was mentioned in there? And it's just because of the fact that I played it in Japanese because I wanted to try something out. So I will probably be replaying Sword and Shield at some point because it is an actually really interesting game and has some decent story considering. Um, but yeah, and it's also, I think it's the first one to actually have DLC, which I've played a little bit with.
Yes, it does have DLC.
Yeah, because I don't think that any of the other ones did have DLC. Like they had giveaway Pokemon and stuff like that, but nothing to the same degree as what Sword and Shield has. And I know you don't have that yet, correct?
Have
The
what?
DLC.
No, I don't.
Okay. Because yeah, that technically you can play the DLC any point in your game and you'll be completely fine. But I think that it's better to still like some things. Yeah, you should probably the Isle of Armor. I'd suggest actually getting that pretty soon because that can be a huge pain in the backside if you're doing it after you've completed everything. Just from experience, it's not fun to say the least. Because you have to level up a Pokemon from level 5 up high enough so that it can actually take down some bad guys, and everything in that dungeon is the same level as you. Maybe a little bit lower, but wherever you are in the main gameplay, that's where things are on the Isle of Armor, which can be like I said, a really big pain in the backside. But yeah. Have you picked up Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl yet, or the?
I have Shining Pearl.
You have Shining Pearl.
Oh no, Shining Pearl.
So you have Shining Pearl, and have you gotten Arceus yet?
No, I need to though.
Yes, absolutely. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They're basically the exact same game as the original Diamond and Pearl, and you've played Pearl before.
Yep.
So obviously, I do suggest that you do check out you do play through that and have a bit of fun because it is definitely better, and it does have some better graphics and stuff like that. But it's basically a carbon copy, and there's a few extra things in there. But what Legends Arceus does, now that was fun. They basically completely redid the entire game to be this completely new story that they've never done before. And to anyone who's played Monster Hunter, that is what Legends Arceus is. It's not it's not Breath of the Wild or any other big open world game. It does have aspects of that, but its primary thing is that you go out on expeditions around the area. You have one home base. Well, technically you have two, but that's much later in the game, and I'm not gonna give much more than that. But you have one major base, and then you go around into the different areas, and you gain more areas as you go, which is honestly really fun. I absolutely do recommend that you check it out because, like I said, They did a lot with that game, and it's probably a good representation of what they're going to be doing for the next game, which that from what me and Jack have theorized, it more than likely will be way more open world than Arceus was. So, look forward to that.
Sounds like fun.
So, but have you played Diamond or Shining Pearl at all yet?
I have played a little bit of that. Not as much as I've played with
Sword.
um Sword, but I have played a lot with a little bit of it. I think I just finished the first gym or the second gym. I can't remember.
Yeah, one thing that I do think is kind of interesting, and you may not have noticed this quite yet, but I would say that on average, the Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl gym leaders, and basically all of the big boss fights of the game are significantly harder than they were in the original game. Like, obviously, people do Nuzlocks all the time um, for Diamond and Pearl. I've yet to see anyone actually attempt to do a Nuzlocke for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and it actually end successfully. Because there are a lot of gyms that will, or a lot of trainers that you don't really, like, in the previous game, sure, they could be a challenge, but none of them were run ending. Nowadays, it's like pretty much anything can end you. Like, the hardest thing in the original game was that of Cynthia's battle. Meanwhile, now, like, the entire Elite Four is on her level as of that time, if not harder. So, I just think that's kind of insane to think about.
I haven't noticed that yet.
Yeah, it'll probably take a little bit, but it is definitely harder to say the least. And I have considered trying to do another Nuzlocke with that, but at the same time, I'm like, no way, that would be way too challenging to do. I would probably be doing that with Pearl, but we'll see exactly what if I do, I'll let you guys know. But that's probably a ways off. Oh, but yeah. So have you picked up? I'm sorry.
Something that I really like about um Shining Pearl and
Sword.
Sword is that in Sword you can camp, which is really useful,
That's true.
and then you have total access to your box instead of having to go
Oh, that is a
all the
godsend.
time to the
Let's be
post.
honest about that really quick. That is an absolute godsend to be able to access all of your Pokemon no matter where you are. Like,
That is so helpful, and I absolutely love that feature.
yeah, exactly.
And
Like,
then
I just think it's also funny that they added that after they added Ride Pokemon, and basically the equivalent to basically HMs are no longer a thing in any of the games, but the thing that you would have wanted that system, the being able to access your box from anywhere, was something that would be the HM you would be wanting to. Let's say you want to use an HM for whatever reason, you couldn't access it, and it was so annoying. And then after they got rid of HMs, they're like, here, have the ability to use your box. And they did it at the exact same time. Well, no, wait. No, Ride Pokemon came first, then the access to the box came. And it's like, why did you do that afterwards? Like, sure, it's great help. Like, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you just suddenly, oh, there's that specific trainer type. I should have this specific type of Pokemon. Yeah, that can be useful, but at the same time, it's not always gonna be I don't know. It's just kind of strange in my opinion.
Yeah, and then the one that feature that I really like um for Shining Pearl is that now you have this underground place where you can go around and you can search all these different places and catch Pokemon that down there, which is really cool and really useful too because you can access that anywhere.
Yeah, that is actually really helpful because like many Pokemon that you normally would have been really hard to get, they chose to put them into there, and so many Pokemon are now more easily accessible, such as like Munchlax. Let's remember that Munchlax was practically possible to get um, in the original game because you had to smother honey on trees, and then you had to wait, and then you had no idea what trees would actually work to summon him, and it was such a pain in the backside to get Munchlax that basically the only way that you could get it is trade in a Snorlax and then see what happen and then breed it in order to get the actual Pokemon. Now you can basically find Munchlax all over the underground, which is such a godsend. As well as you can find other Pokemon that were not accessible in the original game. In the original game until I think the post game, if not until Platinum. So that
Hmm.
was kind of fun. But yeah, which you know, I've recently looked into like the stuff with Platinum and the stuff with um, Diamond and Pearl, and it's like, wow, they really did wait to give us a lot of things until Platinum. Like Platinum was the much better game, and then obviously we played Brilliant Diamond. I played Diamond. You played Pearl. Well, no, we both played Pearl. Sorry, originally. So,
No, I played Diamond
oh, you did
originally.
play Diamond
You
originally. I thought
played
you said
Pearl.
you played Pearl.
No, I played Diamond originally, and then
Yeah,
I got this one.
yeah. So you played Diamond originally. I played Pearl originally, and yeah, I think that it was a much better thing. And I do think one thing that would be really nice at some point for them to do is add some DLC to Brilliant Diamond and Shine Pearl, and basically add like a Delta episode. They did that with well, not Delta episode, Platinum episode. Sorry, where you could actually have like the a decent story with Giratina rather than what it currently is, which is not the best. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do that, but at the same time, it would be kind of interesting. I think that if they were to add any DLC to the uh uh Pearl remakes, the Diamond and Pearl remakes, or the Legends Arceus. Arceus would probably be the one to get DLC, but either way, I don't think we're going to be getting DLC because obviously we have the new game coming out.
There's another one coming out.
Yeah, there's Scarlet and Violet. We've talked about this. It's the thing with Fuecoco and all the other Pokemon. I'm pretty sure we talked about it. Maybe it was just me and Jack.
Mm, might have been just you and Jack.
Okay. So we'll have to, maybe we'll have to talk more about that at some point because you should definitely watch the trailers if you haven't yet. Um,
Ooh, I'm looking at the legendary Pokemon. Those look really cool.
yeah, right.
The starters kind of look funky though.
Yeah. Um, everyone is disappointed about Fuecoco because he's not from the Chinese zodiac, which basically completely ruins the theory that every single fire starter is based off of the Chinese zodiac. It's just like, what the heck? Why'd you do this? I don't know. It's just stupid, but it's It was a stupid theory, anyways. I think that if they were to do anything, more than likely Fuecoco would turn into a snake at some point if they were to actually keep that theory going.
Probably.
But
But the starting water type looks like a French duck.
let's just ignore what people are actually calling him. You want?
I'm sorry, he looks like a French duck.
He also looks like a person. We'll just leave it at that. People who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. I think the better example is Donald Duck, because he looks like the Donald Duck from Kingdom Hearts. Pretty much all Kingdom Hearts fans are saying that, and then everyone else is like, let's just hope he doesn't turn orange in his shiny form.
What?
Yeah, you still don't get it, do you?
No,
I
don't.
A certain president. Let's leave it at that. Our previous president. Anyways, moving on. What other games have you been playing recently on the Switch?
That is it that I have right now.
Oh, so
I want to get Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I need to get that one.
Yeah, absolutely do get that.
And then Smash.
Smash, yeah, absolutely do. Get Smash, that's going to be an extremely important one to get. One thing that I also recommend is getting Mario Odyssey, because that was a truly fantastic game, and I'm kind of disappointed that not very many people talk about it anymore. But back when it released, like, it was probably one of the best games that they had. And honestly, they probably could have improved it more if they really wanted to.
Probably.
Yeah. Obviously, me and Jack want you to get Stardew Valley on there, on your Switch.
Now we can all do a game together.
Yeah, exactly. And then it will actually we'll be able to have a lot of fun with that. Maybe you should do that before tomorrow, and we'll have, like, instead of it being just normal nerd chat, it will be nerd chat in Stardew Valley.
That would be hilarious.
That would be really funny. I don't think we're gonna do that, but we'll see. But yeah, obviously you should get that, and I've showed you all of my games that I have. Absolutely, you should play Animal Crossing, and
Animal Crossing games don't really interest me, though.
Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, when did you last play one?
I haven't played any.
You haven't played any. Okay.
No, they just don't interest me.
Okay. Give it a shot. I think that you absolutely should, and then you're just gonna be like, this is nice. I just want to relax now. Because that's basically, honestly, Animal Crossing, the way that I see it is, it's just a nice way to relax at the end of the day. If you have a really hard day, just sit back, relax, play some Animal Crossing. It's not like something where you have to work really hard to get all of this stuff done. Don't focus on that. Focus on just having fun on your island, decorating it however you see fit, and honestly, I think you'll have a lot of fun. I haven't played it in a while, but honestly, I absolutely loved it when I did play it. And so did Captain Jack. So, yeah. Now, you should absolutely play it, and maybe we'll all go to each other's islands and have fun.
Maybe.
Speaking of which, I will need to give you my friend code at the after we finish up recording. So that'll be fun. And then we're going to probably talk more about this tomorrow. but you guys should pick up GOG.
What?
GOG. It's kind of like Steam, but better. Um, for one thing, they have a lot more sales on different basically everything that you play. You're gonna everything that they have on in their store. A lot of it is discounted heavily. So, like, just for example, I got Stardew Valley on GOG rather than on Steam, and I got it for about $7.50, while it normally is $16 or something.
How do you even spell that?
GOG, or you can also look up Good Old Games. But yeah, just GOG, and then it's literally just GOG.com, and they have a. You can either buy the games and just download them straight to your console, or you can make you can get the actual or not your console, your PC, and or you can actually have the actual device or the actual platform, which is basically just like Steam, and just have that, and then you can access all of your games all at once. Quixote has actually has like a ton of games, and I could probably go over all of them. And maybe we'll have Quixote actually talk about GOG at some point in the future. But it's honestly a truly amazing thing, and I wish that we were sponsored because that would be really, really convenient. But no, I don't think GOG will ever sponsor us.
We are not sponsored by
We
GOG.
are not sponsored by anyone. Period.
Yep.
Oh, that would be funny if there was actually a thing called not sponsored, and then we could just be like, we are not sponsored / we are sponsored, but by not sponsored. I think that would be absolutely stupid, but that would never happen.
That'd be fun to
That
do.
would be very funny. Or we could say, or what we can actually say is, we're not sponsored, but you can check out our merch over at the merch store, which we actually do have a merch store. Go check it out down in the description, as well as also check out our book, well, my book, which is also down in the description. Sorry, had to shill a bit. That was a bit fun. But yeah, you do need to check out some more Switch games, and I've always told you about No Man's Sky. That's gonna be on the Switch soon, my friend, if it isn't already. So definitely check that out at some point. And then you are also thinking about getting Kingdom Hearts, correct?
Maybe.
Yeah. So I just want to talk about this a little bit. Pretty much every single person who every single YouTuber who has ever talked about Kingdom Hearts, everyone unanimously agrees, do not play Kingdom Hearts on the Switch because it is awful. It is a cloud version only, and it's had a lot of really bad issues in the past, basically causing lag, and there's just been a lot of issues with people where they've been playing and just out of nowhere they suddenly have a spike of lag, and then boom, you're dead. So that's one of the big reasons why I strongly say don't get it on Switch. If you're gonna get it on Xbox. I know that I hate Xbox with a passion, but in all honesty, it's a better option than playing it on the Switch and then having all of your just constantly dying because of lag. Yeah, but yeah, that's just what I have to say. It's it's really annoying. But yeah. So, have you been reading or listening to any books recently?
Other than reading My Hero and My Family, no.
Yeah, speaking of which, how are you enjoying Spy Family?
Okay, I need to watch more of the show, but I have really enjoyed some of the manga that I have read. I'm not even done with the first volume yet.
So you're not so you've only read a little bit of the first volume of Spy Family, and you've how
Yeah.
much of the anime have you
Watched
watched?
the first three episodes, I believe.
That's it? Holy cow. Yeah, you need to get through that. Because seriously,
Yeah.
Spy Family, one of the best anime of all time. It will probably win if anything gets anime of the year, it will probably be that, and that's because of the fact that it has 2 places on the frickin' thing. Like obviously,
And it is
I
so funny.
I think that there are definitely some anime that could give it a run for its money. Specifically, series that are returning, such as Devil's a Part Timer and Overlord. Both are back, and honestly, I am so excited to watch them. I just haven't gotten a chance to actually sit down and watch them very often. So, I need to do that. And you'll need to see Devil's a Part Timer once it's in English. Or have you at least seen the first season though?
No.
Okay, absolutely 100% watch Devil's a Part Timer. That will give you just all of the laughs, and I just I wish I could spoil it because it's just absolutely hilarious. But basically, the simple stuff that you need to know if you're gonna be getting into Devil's a Part Timer is one, it is about the demon lord of a specific world coming to the equivalent of our world and having to get money in order to survive, and that's basically it. So he ends up getting a part-time job at not McDonald's, called McRonald's, and it's absolutely hilarious. And he's constantly at war with this girl who is constantly trying to kill him, but apparently they're eventually gonna have a kid, so that's gonna be an interesting story. I don't know the details on that. I've just read certain details about just offhand, and it's just like, what the heck is this series? But it's been off for, they haven't aired it for a while, and it's just like, why are you not airing? You are one of the best shows in existence. Why are you not constantly airing? Because we need to see this. But I don't know. So yeah, watch it because it's absolutely hilarious.
Okay, I'll put that on my list to watch.
The ever increasing list that we'll never get around to watching everything that is on the list that people have suggested.
Yes, I still need to finish Stranger Things and Umbrella Academy.
Oh, you still need to do those. Shoot, yeah, get
Yeah.
through those. Those
I'm
are
on
important.
I'm on episode 7, so halfway through episode 7
So
of Stranger Things. Those are long episodes.
they really are. Like honestly, just
For this
watch.
season, it's
Basically,
really
watch them
long.
once, one a day, and see if that can help you get through it faster. Especially considering the fact that we will be getting the next season next year.
I went on to Funimation, and Devil is a Part-Timer just popped up.
Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere, and everyone wants to watch it. So, just make sure that you're watching the first season, not the second season.
Yep.
um,
That first season Added it to my list.
Yeah. It might also be on Hulu or Netflix. Netflix is unlikely,
It is
but
on
it might
Hulu.
be. So yeah, just be aware of that if you want to watch it without ads. So yeah, absolutely watch that. Let's talk about My
Oh, I
Hero
also
though.
started. Hold on, I also started season 2 of Doctor Stone, so
Oh yes, Doctor Stone.
I need to watch that too.
Yeah, and that's gonna be coming out with it. I don't know when it's coming out, but I know that there is gonna be a third season is coming, but they're also doing a special. So I don't know exactly how they're gonna be handling that because honestly,
And I also need to finish Rising of the Shield Hero too. I got a lot.
yeah. Have you started the first or the second season?
I watched the first episode.
Okay. Honestly, you could probably skip the turtle arc. I know I know a lot some people are probably going to be like, "No, don't skip it." But honestly, that's probably the worst arc of that series. But the next arc is pretty good. At least in my opinion.
How many episodes does this one take?
I have no idea. It's most of the season, which is a problem.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of problems with Rising of the Shield Hero, especially recently. I'm honestly thinking I'm just gonna pick up the manga / the light novel and read that, because a lot of people are saying it skipped over a lot of stuff and this and that. And it's like, okay, noted. Maybe I should definitely read it rather than watch it.
Maybe I should do that too.
I've only got the first volume, or no, I've got the first 2 volumes of the manga, and then I've got Reprise of the Spear Hero, which is the spin-off, where apparently the Spear Hero has died, and it's like, what? Why is this not something that... This should have come out after the anime got to that point, not... What? Not this early. I'll need to... So I'm basically just waiting to see when he actually dies in order to actually figure out, okay, this is when I should start reading it, because probably everything is going to include spoilers up to this point.
Probably.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. That's annoying to say the least. But I don't know. Weird stuff. What about speaking of anime and manga? My Hero Academia. How far are you in both the anime and the manga?
I finished it. I finished the season.
You finished the season for
5.
the anime.
I finished season 5.
Okay, and
Yeah.
how about the manga?
Little bit halfway done with volume 31.
Okay, so you've gotten pretty far. So when did you first figure out that Dabi was the brother of Todoroki?
You told me a while ago.
Yeah, I know I told you, but you figure, but like, I don't think that I told you before that arc even came out. Like, pretty much everyone knew pretty early on that Dabi was Todoroki's brother. Like, pretty much all of the evidence is there. Like, you get introduced to a character who, well, more accurately, you see all this information about how Todoroki absolutely hates his father, and you see basically the abuse that he and his family have gone through because of Endeavor, and then pretty much immediately afterwards you get introduced to this character, this villain, who happens to be the one of the biggest bads, but he happens to have fire powers and hates Endeavor. There's not much else you can go with that. Like, he blatantly says multiple times, even in his first arc, his first season that he's in, the first few moments he's in, that he hates Endeavor, and he has fire powers. How do people not notice that?
Who knows?
I don't even know. And then it's so weird because as we're going through this, through the manga, you see all these things where he's talking to and they try to be quiet about it, but it's like everyone knows that he's the fourth Todoroki child, and we don't know everything about how he became Dabi or any of that stuff, but we know that it's him. And then we get but instead, when he's literally telling Hawks that he is Toya Todoroki, they block it out. And I don't understand why they do that, because everyone knows that it's Toya. Everyone should know by this point that it's Toya, because there's literally no one else that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they built up all of these things, and it's just like, you could literally do that and no one would blame you. And then they wait for the quote-unquote reveal until the actual confrontation with Endeavor, when he tells them and then tells him all of his backstory. And it's just like, what? Why'd you wait until then? Like, everyone knew. I don't know. It annoys me, to say the least.
Very much so.
Yeah, I don't know. Stuff happens. People are crazy. Who knows exactly what they were thinking, but I don't know. But, yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows exactly? I don't know. But apparently that's for my parents, because they had no idea that he was Dabi until, like, that Toya and Dabi were the same person. I just, like, say, oh yeah, he, basically they're at the point where we see Toya's shrine, and they're like, wait, there's a fourth sibling? And I'm like, yeah, it's Dabi. Like, how did you not notice that? Because he's literally there, like, the entire time, and, like, we see Endeavor's 3 children, like, pretty early on, when Todoroki is being trained by his father. He wants to go play with the other kids, and then he drags him away, and it's like, yeah, those 3 kids are the Todoroki family. Those are the other 3 kids. And they specifically state that, both in the manga and the anime. I don't know how you missed that. And we only meet 2 of them. And then we, after that, I don't know. It's weird, to say the least.
Very much so.
But, I don't know. Maybe we're just weirdos who can figure things out really quickly. Speaking of which, you've seen Lock and Key, correct?
No.
No, you haven't. Okay. So you should watch that. I've mentioned it before. I always think it's funny. I like to tell this story because my parents, when we were watching it, I had watched the first episode, and that's it, without my parents. And I was like, we should watch this together. And they're like, okay. So we all watch it, and then this one character gets introduced in it, and I'm like, oh, he's the bad guy. And they're like, what? No spoilers. And I'm like, I have not seen this series at all, but he's the bad guy. I know it. I know that he's the bad guy. He literally just walks on screen, and I'm like, he's the bad guy. And it's just like, they have no understanding of how it is, and then it ends up that he is the actual bad guy. It's hilarious, and I'd like to know if you can figure it out before you actually see the point where he actually gets revealed that he's the bad guy. So, definitely let me know once you actually start watching that.
If I start watching it.
Yeah. But I will give you this hint. He seems like a regular guy, and then he ends up being and then when when he first shows up, it's not someone who is like blatantly, oh, he's the bad guy. No, it's just some random dork, and it's like, but yeah, that's just me. Um, you'll understand that once you actually watch the series. But anyways, I think that that's probably a good point to end it. Um, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this nerd chat. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. As well as I think my Skandar video will be coming out soon. So look forward to that. That is currently being edited, and I will hopefully get that one released probably by the time that the next video comes out. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja. He's been Joker, and we will see you guys next time. But on.
Bye.